Danbury what?
So it's like Congress for the state, right? So when I get elected, then I go up to Hartford. I'm the one that gets the vote.
So who's running again? Who's in Ridgefield? Who's the guy in Ridgefield?
Ridgefield. I'm not sure of the state from Ridgefield, but I know
what's his name? He's a real estate. He's a real estate guy.
Ridgefield, yeah. So Danbury, we have
for years.
I am challenging his 40-year incumbent. My whole life, literally, he's been in that district. We represent Connecticut. If you know that last Wednesday, they just voted to raise the car taxes every Democrat. They had a special legislative session. So 5% car tax increase is not happening. It's unconstitutional tax burden on all of it. That's what everybody's concerned about. The state is getting crushed, as you know, from a financial and economic position. And like we talk about housing authority, it's out of control.
My house,
afford a budget.
my house in Ridgefield. So you know where I'm at? I'm on the right on the road.
Yep.
We have to break together.
15 years ago.
They bring it to the floor. And then when Tony Ford to vote against it, just the homicide people voted against it. I'm not playing that game. That's why
I don't see how it could be, because I'm not in, I'm not in, I have my development was built back in the 70s, right? You know that.
Yeah.
So I overbuilt the but I didn't care because I don't understand. But they say I could, I have a great piece of property.
I mean, right now that's what it is. There's no supply. I was talking to a mortgage guy who came in the house yesterday, and I was like, it's only business for him. It's terrible. It's taking people 5 offers to get a house. So say you and I were looking for a house, it would take us 5 different offers to get one. That's the average. Crazy. And all your offers are going to be way over. Unless it's a piece of crap, you know. But it's
I ran into a girl I hadn't seen in 20 Massachusetts. And but
you gotta go talk to the Connecticut for Trump guy.
Oh, this guy here? You know him?
Everybody park.
Well,
See, Bannon's
over
coming.
here.
in the back.
Oh, where's everyone?
no drinking and driving.
Yeah.
Not around here.
Oh, I think you
She just left.
Yeah.
She left. She's a little thing. Oh, really? Little thing. She's maybe 5 feet tall.
I think he does a show here.
Dude, I'm surprised you're wearing any sandals.
Oh, it's not bathroom?
That's, you know, Mr. Borelli?
Ran him off.
Holy shit.
Where would he have gone?
How did that guy even
No, which
And he's 90 years old?
Yeah.
Oh my God, damn. I'm honestly surprised.
What do you
Steele's running the thing, too. You see Mark Levin last night, he's playing. So he's showing how when Wilson was sick, his wife was running the business.
I
They
do
got
remember
this.
this. I remember seeing that. I watched that on podcast.
I'm telling you, you got to try.
They do the same
They
thing.
have this process. Oh,
It's tricky in that business.
Susan Rice, Jared, Susan Barlow.
individually made.
Trying to do whoever it is. Did a pretty good job at that.
Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, cool.
We kind of laughed about it, and then it was campaign. I'm like,
Well, that was
Not only yeah, but hell yeah. And instead of us coming to you once a year and say, give me your vote, we're going to go to you all the time and say, here, we're giving you this. The point is, we on the farm, we Republicans held a Halloween party for the kids. The Friday and the Saturday.
This is the guy.
Trying to run it like a business.
So Harry, what do you're the producer, right? You produce all the shows.
Do everything. Yeah, executive producer. I oversee everything and all location stuff.
got. I love. This is my buddy. We're big fans, man.
Oh, nice, nice.
We love Miranda Khan. I love her.
Oh, she's great.
She's great. She's just a. I think she's just down to earth, and she's just. And I like your morning show. I get a kick out of Clarence. What's his name?
Terrence. Terrence is a great guy. Great guy.
Terrence. What's the guy that's now at Newsmax? Was that
Ed Henry.
Yeah, Ed. You guys, was that a bad separation?
Not really, from what I understand. I don't get involved in that stuff.
Yeah. So you're feeling well? You're feeling good?
Thank God, yes.
Good. That was what, a year ago, right? You had.
Well, it was 2 years ago. 3 years ago, it came back because they missed the margins, and then I had to go back again.
What was it? Colon cancer?
Colon, yeah.
Yeah, that's people. I'll tell you something. People left going in for those colonoscopies. You got to do it. How was the chemo okay? Hey!
won't
around.
be able to- They won't be
So
able to
not
get
to
past.
limit it. I got one of those air horns. I can go rip
Get
her
it,
ear.
get it, get it.
No, but what's going to happen is you're going to kill the sound. They won't be
But
able
her
to hear.
mouth's not doing it already with the
But
mouth.
he can blow it one time. And
Yeah.
That's all I
Yeah,
wanted
get
to
one,
do.
get one, get one.
But that may get her to do more of the cowbell, which is going to ruin it.
Does that ruin the sound too?
Yeah.
I hear that cowbell's gonna be across the street.
I wish my buddy John was here.
She's
He's
across
the
the street,
sergeant
will
at
be
Danbury.
fine.
Cowbell will be, I don't know what she thinks.
Well, if we
He
barricade
could
it.
get rid of her.
No, if we make it
Well,
deep
like you're
enough.
saying, we'll barricade this whole area. So we
If
can't
we make
hear.
it deep enough. You won't get it. Actually, you know what? Actually, you know what? You know what? If we get her to sit here, and we stand here, and she can't, you know what I'm saying? Are you
Once
positive
Brian
for it?
and not positive.
You feeling good about it?
It's going to be what it's going to be, right?
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Come on!
Doing
What's
this
your first
too
name?
long.
By the way, I'm
doing this
Dave.
too long. Dave, Harry.
Nice,
Hi, Harry. Susan, nice to meet you.
I watched
It's my
it.
husband, Steven.
Nice to meet you.
It's Harold.
I get a chance to them when they beat you up on that.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah. If you're not getting the rants, they don't love you.
Actually, you know, I can get a couple chairs. That might even help.
Well, you won't get them.
No, I mean, just get them here. She's got to stay back here.
Well, like if you barricade.
I mean,
this
I
area-
have some in my trunk.
I do too. At least that would keep her back.
Do you want chairs? Like beach or folding chairs?
Harry, that would keep her back, you know?
Better if you guys just don't touch her, but if you guys stay surrounded,
Penetrate.
Right.
Except with her mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
But the air horn, woo, one time in the ear.
Well, it'll ruin the sound.
And I have it in my cabinet. I'm like, I gotta bring this to her. And of course I forgot.
How far from the store? Hardware store?
Oh, that's true too. We can just go buy one.
Woo!
New Fairfield's a mile down the road.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You have a spot? A car spot? That's beautiful.
They're
That's
closed.
beautiful. That's beautiful.
I'm really just surprised.
Is there social media? Harold. Harold, are you online for social media? Oh.
Yeah, hey.
I want to be where. I want to see you. Not behind you. You know what I'm saying? That way you can turn around and go push. I don't want to be back here. I don't want to be back here. I don't want to. Let it be over here. I don't want to be in the front. So he said, Harry said it'd be here. No, what's the other? Plus MTG and Ryan over there. You see across.
Right, right, right.
You need to have it in by 2, right? I'll be back by 1.
Just hang around there. So if it rains to the left, you should be back.
You're with the fake news? Oh, boy. I got to stand over there.
Woo! Susan. How are you? Hi, Nick. She looked good. Yeah, Brian Glenn. He's here.
Thank you.
MTG!
Yes.
MTG! MTG!
I'm here. I'm here.
MTG! MTG! MTG!
Let's go.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Oh, you're so dynamite, Marjorie. Thank you so much.
Starbucks.
Can I get a picture with you?
You look good, Marjorie. You look
We're
good.
going to go on with Steve right now.
Excellent.
Yeah, come on
lock arms before Caldwell comes back?
We're on with Steve. I'm listening to him.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey.
I don't know. It's up there.
Come on, get behind us. War room posse. We're going to be on with Steve. Y'all come on and get behind us. Come on. Spread this way. Yeah.
I'm going to go up front.
Come on, Dave, move in. It'll be behind you. Come on, Heidi. Get the thing out.
All right.
Okay.
Can you hear him?
Hold on.
Yes, I'm ready. Yes.
They want y'all in the Steve wants y'all in the shot. He loves you guys.
Get your hair back. You're very cute. Here you go. Hold your coffee for you.
Stand by.
All right. Is it thumbs up when we're supposed to be cheering?
I'll cue you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frank.
Oh, okay. What's going to block the signs?
No, it's fine. You have a long pole.
Like this?
Yeah, definitely. Put it right here. Long pole.
This is a busy road.
Busy's good.
Well, Steve, we're now surrounded by the War Room posse. I think the
They're great. They're out here, Steve. You've got a lot of support here in Connecticut, but we know you have more support all over the country. There are so many people in the War Room posse, and I'm telling you, this is going to multiply it by 10,000. America cannot believe what's happening.
Yeah. Even in commie Connecticut, we're here, right?
People's Republic of Connecticut.
That's right.
I said earlier, Steve, I've been very upset with my conference, our Republican-controlled House. It's always too little, too late. And, you know, I feel like this situation was handled like starving dogs at the dinner table, where you toss a few crumbs out in the late midnight hour to try to make everybody happy. This situation should have been dealt with when we took the majority. We should have voted that the January 6th committee was illegitimate. We should have voted that none of the contempt of Congress charges should have any merit. This is something that we should have done right away, and I really wish that we would have. We've got to move forward. We have 4 months. 4 months before the November 5th election. Republicans in Congress need to get to work. Republicans in Congress need to show the American people that they are not going to allow American citizens to be locked up like so many of the January 6th defendants. We have to show up and we have to vote to defund Jack Smith. We have to work harder to stop the weaponized government. And that's what I'm going to be carrying this message back to my colleagues.
Yes.
Absolutely. Real quickly, Steve, what's your name, where you're from, and why did you not play?
Name's Howard Hellwinkle. I'm from Westchester County, New York, and I've been on the posse for years.
Yeah, how about yourself?
Oh my God, Steve, we just love you. We watch you for 4 hours a day, 4 years in a row. We love you. Susan from Essex, Connecticut. Love you, Stephen.
Yeah.
Stephen from Essex, Connecticut.
Yeah. How about you?
4 years with the posse.
There you go. The posse does so. How about you, Ben?
I'm Rosie from the Villages, but I also live in Connecticut.
Yeah. So, Steve, you got a lot of support. Now, show of raise of hand and voice. For President Trump and where you live, is overwhelming support for this election.
He will with our team. Yes, he definitely will with our team.
50-50
We're
in our
50-50.
town.
But we're getting the vote out. You've got to
People
do it.
are poor where I'm staying, and they're all for Trump.
Biggest issues on the ballot this year are what?
Immigration.
Oh, it's definitely food.
Immigration,
for sure.
totally.
Peace.
Immigration.
No more wars. Peace, no more wars. And I know that, Margie, you've had something to say. You've said something about that.
Breaking up the administrative state.
Yeah,
You gotta break up the
Yeah.
administrative state.
No more
40
administration.
years, there's a big change. That's it.
$1 trillion
That's what it is.
every 100 days.
Yeah, the deficit, no more foreign wars, of course, the immigration, the borders, a big no.
Oh yeah, and there's people, cars are driving by.
My first wedding anniversary, my wife sent me down here. Oh yeah, now I'm on TV.
Absolutely. The issues that matter to
Look
the
at, you
people
know,
that
it's
have
on
showed up
tape.
here today are the exact issues that President Trump talks about at every single rally. They're the issues that his campaign has worked together. Agenda 47. These are all the most important issues for President Trump. Border security. This is number one. We've had over 12 million people enter the United States since Joe Biden took office. 2 million of them are gotaways. We have no idea where these people are. That should matter to every American, no matter how you vote, because women and children are being raped and murdered. People are being killed by illegal alien crime. 300 people are dying every single day from fentanyl poisoning. And this is the number one issue for President Trump. One lady here mentioned there's many poor people where she lives. People are being crippled and crushed under inflation. They can't afford groceries. They can't afford their electric bills. Young people can't buy houses. They can't get a mortgage. Interest rates are high. They're losing hope for the future, but everything that the War Room Posse and supporters here today, Trump supporters, Steve Bannon supporters are talking about are exactly what President Trump is campaigning hard that he's going to fix when he becomes president again.
And Steve, I want to add to this. A lot of voters that I've talked to that have been agnostic before, have never voted in any kind of election, see the weaponization of our DOJ against you and against President Trump, so they can identify with that, and they're coming to the voting. Correct.
That's it. Next man up.
We'll take care of the posse here for sure.
Got it. We'll be here.
Yeah.
We love you, Bannon.
Claire, good job.
Thank you
he wants
very
you to
much,
stick around.
He wants you guys to stick around.
We'll
He's
be
coming
here.
this way.
I would
Yeah.
love
Oh,
to.
Danbury.
I couldn't ask for more.
Out here.
Oh, we love you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you guys coming out
You were the
today.
best MTG out of anyone.
I felt like I had to come.
No, let me just give the quote.
God.
Let me just give the quote. Where are you staying? I'm on route.
I'm in route.
I said to myself, that's
And I wanted to
you.
say
Yeah,
something.
thank you for all you
MTG,
do.
I wanted to say something. Where I live at the Villages, but I live up here too because my son's up here.
What town are you in Connecticut?
Torrington.
Yeah.
And where I work, illegal immigrants come in all day going to the ATM with their debit cards. And the people are poor in my neighborhood. Then they get in their cars and drive off, and they do not have licenses. And I asked the police, I said, why aren't they being pulled?
What group of pirates is out here today? I can't believe that.
1776! Yeah!
1774 and 1775. Want to thank you, Ray, for coming. Want to thank the Real America's Voice audience, and make sure Harry, all the team back there, and everybody in D.C. Want to thank all the supporters, and even want to thank the non-supporters, right? That's your right to protest. Only two? We'll convert you guys.
She's paid. She's paid.
She's paid.
She's from D.C. She just comes and annoys people.
How did we get a congressman up here? Come up here for a second.
Yeah.
How did we get How did a congressman show up here in Danbury prison?
Well, I recognize what all the people watching at home recognize, that this is a war, and it's a political war, and it's a political persecution, and it shouldn't be happening, Steve. So I came here to support you, support the American people, the January 6th defendants that have been wrongly prosecuted, and President Trump.
Let's take we got some media that. First off, I want to thank everybody here for turning out today. We got your back. And remember that the show is going to be bigger and better than ever. We got all kind of co-hosts. Nothing's going to change. It's going to be incredible, right? Next man up. Right? Next man up.
Yeah.
Next man up. 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 It doesn't matter that I'm going to prison. If it took me going to prison, come here. If it took me going to prison to get the House of Representatives to reject J6 and now to actually start an investigation, it's a victory, right?
That is a victory, and that's what we have to do, Steve. We have to move the Republicans in the House of Representatives to act and actually do the job that the people voted for them and sent them to Congress to do. People didn't vote for Republicans to go to Congress and do nothing. They voted for Republicans to do their job. And sitting around and saying, oh, we're going to wait, we're just going to wait, that is not good enough. And they're going to hear from people all over the country. This is multiplying the War Room posse by 10,000, Steve.
Thank you so much.
Look, this is a Democrat
Hopefully
district.
10,000%.
Yeah, but look, this is a Democrat district, and where's the Democrats?
Yes.
Where are they? They're nowhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, folks, if it took me going to prison, girls, remember the reason I chose Danbury, I asked for Danbury for a very specific reason. Back in the only other person that's ever been sent to prison for a congressional subpoena, not going to a House subpoena, for contempt, held in contempt, was Ring Lardner Jr. Back in the 1940s, during the House Un-American Activity investigation, Columbia Studio fired him, because of his political beliefs. And then he was found guilty. They sent it to the DOJ. He was sent to prison. He was sent to this prison. That's why I requested Danbury, because there's no difference in his fight than in our fight. I'm a political prisoner of Nancy Pelosi. I'm a political prisoner of Merrick Garland. I'm a political prisoner of Joe Biden and the corrupt Biden establishment. And you saw on Thursday all the lies that they told, right? All the lies they told. Any group that would sit there and lie to you about the shape of the President of the United States with the national security element of that, lied about the 2020 election, they've lied about COVID, they've lied about everything that they've done to the American people, and they're not going to stop. Until we stop them, they're not going to stop. And the way you stop them is you do things like this. Hey, if they're going to send me to prison, it's not going to matter if we take this fight and take it up the next level, okay? Anybody from the press have a question? Is that Sarah Murray at CNN? I don't want to talk about my conversations with the president, but I think you can see on his Truth Social, he's very supportive. And remember, the most important thing, that was Sarah Murray, the great CNN reporter. Sarah, the most important thing to remember is President Trump is going to be sentenced to prison on July 11th. Me going here for 4 months is nothing. They're going in a very sham trial, totally illegal. They are going to sentence Donald J. Trump, the greatest president of the 20th and 21st century, to prison in a sham trial in New York on July 11th. So I know he supports this. Okay, it's very important. Sarah Murray asked, well, how can I influence the campaign? How can I do War Room? You can't run a business from a federal prison. I have no intention of doing anything to business. But I have a First Amendment right. I have a First Amendment right to have my voice heard. And my voice is going to be heard every day. And more importantly, their voices are going to be heard, right? You don't need my voice. We're a populist movement. We're a populist movement. When I say next man up, it's just not our other hosts. It's just not Congressman Green and Matt Gaetz and all the people that support the show. It's all these people. These are our co-hosts, right? That's why this is only going to get bigger. It's Nancy Pelosi and Merrick Garland that made me a martyr, right? But martyrs die, and I'm far from dead, baby. And this right here grows every day. Any other questions?
Steve, we have a priest here that was that's in New Jersey.
Father Robinson.
See, New Jersey, when churches were shut down because of COVID. So here's somebody, and guess what? He also became an American citizen in 2018.
By the way, thank you. I am going to prison. I'm proud of going to prison. I am proud of going to prison today. I am proud to go to prison. If this is what it takes to stand up to tyranny, if this is what it takes to stand up to the Garland, corrupt, criminal DOJ, if this is what it takes to stand up to Nancy Pelosi, if this is what it takes to stand up to Joe Biden, I'm proud to do it. Father, can you say a few words?
I'm not authorized to talk to the media.
You're not?
No.
Well, thank you for coming.
I agree with your positions, and I'll be praying for you. I'm in the Saving Nations Retreat House, 15 minutes away.
You are?
Yeah, I'll get you whatever you need.
Father, don't pray for me. Pray for our enemies.
Right?
Pray. They're the ones who are going to need the prayers. Thank you, Father.
Saint Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and the snares of the devil. May God rebuke him, we humbly pray. And do thou, Prince of the heavenly host, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all evil spirits who wander through the world seeking the ruin of souls. Amen. Ave Maria Purissima. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank
I'll be
you.
praying for you.
Thank you,
At
Father.
your service.
Appreciate it.
Yours too.
How you doing? Thanks for coming. You read all the trials, weren't you? You're from CBS News, ABC. You see, we have a representative ABC. Did you like the way I bench pressed Jonathan Karl yesterday? Did you like the Jonathan Karl interview? Come over here, I can't.
You were standing with a priest and a congressman.
Yes.
Do you have any regrets about defying a congressional...
Do I have any regrets? ABC News just says I have not only no regrets, I'm actually proud of what I did, and I felt terrible if I didn't do it.
Yes.
I don't mind going to prison today, particularly if Congressman Green and Matt Gaetz and Anna Paulina Luna and other warriors in the House turn the focus on Nancy Pelosi. The J6 committee was completely illegitimate in its setup. It's the reason it didn't have the impact of Watergate. It didn't have the impact of Iran-Contra because you had no ranking member, no minority counsel. They couldn't see the evidence, and they couldn't cross-examine witnesses. We need to reconstitute the J6 committee today.
Yes!
And we need to do it in the proper way. The Democrats should have a ranking member. The Democrats should have a minority counsel. It could be Goldman, it could be anybody. We need to get the evidence because I'm going to tell you, when we investigate J6, you're going to see that Donald John Trump was not just completely innocent. He was the one individual that wanted to protect the Capitol and wanted to protect Washington, D.C. You're also going to find out what is the federal government's involvement in this. DHS, FBI, Department of Justice. This was a Fedsurrection. And the way we should do it is to have a complete investigation and let the Democrats have a ranking member. Let them have a minority counsel. Let them cross-examine the witnesses. Let them cross-examine Ray. Let them cross-examine Bill Barr. Let them cross-examine the people that were doing the Secretary of Defense. The American people need that truth. If it takes me going to prison to get that, I would do that any day of the week, and that's what we're trying to drive here. Councilor Green, some thoughts?
No, I totally agree with what Steve just said. It's the lack of action in the Republican-controlled House that has been the problem all along. The fact that Steve did not obey that congressional subpoena was the right thing to do because the committee was illegitimate from the beginning. Nancy Pelosi broke her entire House rules. She broke her House rules when she created that committee. And then look at the two-tier justice system. She prosecutes Steve Bannon, they prosecute Steve Bannon, they prosecute Peter Navarro, but yet who do they not prosecute? Others that they subpoenaed. Why pick two and not prosecute others that were subpoenaed for Congress? That makes no sense whatsoever. And then they're not prosecuting Merrick Garland.
Here's the bet that Nancy Pelosi and Merrick Garland, the Biden regime, has made. They think by prosecuting me, they're going to shut down one of the top advocates for President Trump. They think they're going to say any chance of me working on the campaign. They think they're going to shut down the War Room as this massive platform for MAGA. You see this right here? They're never going to shut it down. They're only making it bigger. These people aren't going to be shut down. The American people have learned one thing. When their voice is heard, change happens. And that is what the War Room's all about. It's only going to get bigger. So Nancy Pelosi bet the wrong way. The show's only going to get bigger. My message is only going to get bigger. The platform's only going to get bigger. So I'm proud. If it takes prison to show the American people that they're prepared to put, in the first time in history, one of the largest hosts of one of the largest shows in the nation, that the line we've crossed right now, and if we don't stop it right here and right now, it's going to continue. So we've got to stop it, and it's not going to stop until we stop it.
We have a question for Nancy.
In the mic. Make sure you're speaking in the mic.
Are you ready? This exists outside. Are you personally prepared for?
I was on a destroyer for 4 years in the Navy. I am prepared for whatever prison has, right? Our prisons are run very well. The Bureau of Prisons does a great job. I'm prepared to do this. Whatever task I'm totally prepared, mentally, physically, everything for prison. I do it with gratitude to these people. Garland are going to think that Steve Bannon and this little podcast is done from a basement in Washington, D.C. is so important that they will do something they've never done before and put a voice that supports an opposition to them in the run-up to the election. If they think that's big a deal, I will do that gladly. And whatever prison holds, prison holds. Look, I went to a military school. I served in the Navy. I've done the War Room, so I'm prepared mentally and physically to go. But what's most important is that these people are empowered. If my going to prison empowers these people, I'll do it every day of the week. Well, first off, the question is, how am I going to be heard every day? It's very simple. You know how I'm going to be heard every day? These people right here in our house. The show's not going to change. Hey, folks, one of the reporters wants to know, how am I going to be heard every day? And I say, it's you. We're a populist movement. President Trump, they're going to put in prison. Steve Bannon's going to prison in a few minutes. Alex Jones, they're trying to liquidate. The Gateway pundit, they're trying to put in bankruptcy. It's next man up. They can't stop this. This is our power. Our power is right here. Our power is an informed and empowered American people. It doesn't matter about me. It doesn't matter about me. It doesn't matter about anybody else. They're going to try to imprison President Trump. It's next man up. What the ruling class in this country has to understand, there's nobody they can imprison. There's nobody they can assassinate. There's nobody they can bankrupt. There's nobody they can deplatform to stop the MAGA movement. MAGA's on the rise. Look what happened in France yesterday. Right? The people of France started to take back their own country from the globalists. In Germany, they're taking back their own country from the globalists. In England, Nigel Farage had a rally that was like Donald Trump. And Donald Trump, you saw Thursday night. What Thursday night showed you, the same people that lied about the 2020 election, right? Lied about Biden, would lie for 4 years and hide that. And that was on CNN in living color. We saw exactly what it was. So no, they're going to hear my voice every day.
You have a message for former President Trump.
For former President Trump, my message, thank you. What outlet are you with? CNN? I have two. I'm going to get two. The message of President Trump is very simple. Fight on. If we don't stop, if President Trump continues to fight, victory is going to be ours. We're going to win in a landslide. We're going to pick up the Senate with 55 seats. We're going to pick up 5 seats in the House. Yeah. We could win in a landslide. Yeah. Remember, if he doesn't quit, they don't win. President Trump's on the path to victory. And you saw last night on CNN in all its glory what they have hit, and he was a hero for doing that. He shouldn't have debated Biden until September, October. He did it for the country to be able to expose, and took all the rules that CNN gave, right? Every rule, and I disagreed with that, and I told him that. He did that for the country. And he wanted to expose the lies of the ruling elite in this country. You have a cadaver in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue that is now a national security threat. Don't ask me. Ask Zelensky how he felt after that debacle, right? Ask Jerusalem what they felt about the debate with Netanyahu. Ask the people in Taipei what they felt after that debate. Trump did that to expose the lies of the ruling class of this country. And that, my only advice to him is fight as hard as you fight every day, and victory is going to be ours. Excuse me?
What advice did Trump have for you?
I think he said today, just keep doing what you're doing. They're not going to shut down our voice. President Trump, you can see by the rally speeches, you can see what's on War Room. The War Room is the platform for the Trump movement, okay? The War Room is the platform for the MAGA movement. So President Trump's message to me is the exact same. Just continue to fight on. Should we go ahead and bounce? What time is it? Any other?
What's your opinion on the SCOTUS decision?
Hey, hang on. Where are you from? NBC? Do you like my Vaughn? I bench press Vaughn Hilliard too. So I bench press Jonathan Karl and I bench press Vaughn Hilliard. You're a brave man. We love MSNBC.
What are your guys in
The Supreme Court, if you look at the last 90 hours in political history, starting with the debate, that was a debacle for the ruling class. If you look at the overturn of the Fisher decision, if you look at the killing of the Mac Daddy of the administrative state, which is the Chevron deference, okay? Then you look at Le Pen's massive victory yesterday in France, Nigel Farage now on the run in England to take over, to destroy the Tory party. If you look at Alternative for Deutschland, 100,000 Antifa have to come out to shut down their country in Germany because they're leading all throughout the world, and that's all like Brexit was in 16. That's all a predicate for 2024. And then this morning, the Supreme Court, in a 6-3, it's a massive decision, and most importantly, it proves that Jack Smith, this is a rigged game. You've had the Supreme Court of the United States 9-0 about should President Trump be on the ballot. What is it, 6-3 with Justice Brown Jackson joining us, right? Brown Jackson joined us on Friday on overturn of Fisher. And people in the Justice Department, and quite frankly, people like Andrew Weissman should be investigated and go to prison of putting innocent Americans in jail right now for felonies. And then today, the massive 6-3 win on immunity, and of course they're going to fight that. But this is just immunity. You got to absolute immunity. So for NBC News, it's quite simple. We're winning everywhere, right? And we're going to win more. This has just started. In the last 90 hours has been historic about the right wing, not just in the United States, but throughout the world.
Anybody else?
Bernie, you guys want to come and say something? You good? By the way, I want to introduce. I got Bernie Carrick here. I got Eric Prince, my buddy. I got Mo Bannon, my daughter. She'll take over. She'll be the CEO of War Room. Hold it. Come here. Royce White, our Senate candidate. Royce, come here.
Love you, brother.
Royce White is the Republican-nominated candidate in Minnesota running against Klobuchar, another neoliberal neocon.
We won't take a single back step. That's the bottom line. You can throw him in jail all you want to, but we will not take a single back step. We understand the threat of communism. We can read. We have computers. Black people are waking up to it. You're praying that we don't wake up to it, but I'll see to it that they will. We will not take a single back step. We love this man right here. He's an American hero. It's a shame that you've let this happen, and they're coming for you next. You better understand that. You can cheer now. These idiots back here can cheer now. But when the gulag opens up, all of you will be in it next. Understand that. God bless America. Love you, brother.
Hold on. Royce White is running in Minnesota on Thursday, the Declaration of Independence, July 4th. Where are you going to be, Royce?
The heart of corruption. The Federal Reserve. You all know how the money works? I'm sure you all know how the money works. You don't like Steve because he knows how the money works. A man who went to Harvard, who was in the Navy, and who worked on Wall Street is never supposed to talk about how the system actually works. All of you know. You know what it is to be a wage slave. You know what it is to be a serf. You know you're being crushed, and yet you peddle the narrative anyway. It's disgusting.
Why on July 4th? Why are you leading? You're running a campaign. Why are you leading a march like you did during the situation in Minneapolis in June of 2020? Why you led a march to the Federal Reserve? Why are you going to do it now?
After George Floyd died, the focus was on police. The focus should not be on police. The global corporate community is stealing from the American people. They're getting wise to it. The Federal Reserve is the heart of the corruption. That's the bottom line. The Federal Reserve is the heart of the way the whole thing works. And we're going to go march back there where it all started on July 4th.
All right. In the Fed. In the Fed. In the Fed. Eric, just get up here for a second. Eric Prince, when President Trump wins again, how important it is for us to go after the deep state, and I mean criminal investigations to break it up. Now that we got the Chevron deference, that starts to break apart the administrative state, but the deep state, the one that stole President Trump's first term, the one that helped steal President Trump's second victory. What do we have to do?
Elections must have consequences. The real constitutional crisis is we're supposed to have 3 branches of government. We have 4. The 4th must be accountable to the American people. Enough of the permanent bureaucracy. It's why we're failing. It's why America's standing around the world is collapsing. It's why every foreigner I encounter asks, please get Trump back in office. America can't stand any more of this insanity. And I would also say, we turn my friend Steve Bannon over to the guards at the prison here. We will be here in 4 months to collect him in good health, maybe a little thinner and in better shape, but we expect that they take good care of him, or there'll be accountability for that as well.
What do you recommend we do with the FBI, DOJ, the CIA, DNI, all of it on the afternoon of 20 January 2025? What does President Trump have to do?
It's the power of the purse. All those hyper-bloated organizations need to go on a severe diet. They do a lot of really stupid things. They will be less stupid inevitably if they are smaller.
So you're saying break them up? You agree with that?
Yeah, totally agree.
Jump up here.
Yeah.
So tell us what Eric. What is Eric talking about?
Thank you very much, Eric. And that there's been a message sent. Steve will be fine for 4 months, and thank you for that. And Eric is absolutely right, everyone. The American government is overgrown. It's turned into a monster, and the American people are having to pay for it all, to the point they're over $34.5 trillion in debt. This is unsustainable no matter how you vote, Republican or Democrat. And Americans need to say enough of it. We've got to shrink down the federal government. We need to slash down the giant agencies. We need to reduce it down and get control of its power. It's totally out of control. And that is absolutely the message that Americans say every single day on streets everywhere. I'd like to go back to Nancy Pelosi, Steve, if I'm... You know, everyone needs to ask Nancy Pelosi, why wasn't the national...